I don't plan on messing around for too long. Because we're already starting so much later than I usually like to. To be fair, I did it bad as far as planning for food today was concerned. So I started making what I was going to have for lunch and dinner far later than I should have. Much later than lunch was supposed to happen. But on the plus side, I have some chicken noodle soup. And it's real dang good. I don't usually like eating on stream. Because it bothers me personally, but I'm gonna be chowing down on my soup every so often. I've eaten most of it at this point. But the overlay shows only Mayor Emmy and 10 people who've died of old age. Emmy hasn't died, though. Did Emmy die? I don't think that's correct. But that's terrifying. Travis's old age. That's, I'm not gonna argue with that. Sometimes that's fine. That's okay. Emmy is fine, everyone else is okay. The way the sentence was structured had me a little scared for a second. I was like, I don't remember that happening. I know my memory isn't the greatest all of the time, but I was pretty sure that Emmy was fine. But yeah, how are y'all doing? How's it going? Would you like some chicken noodle soup? I have made some, and it is very good. Also, my glasses are filthy, so we're gonna just take a moment to clean those so that I can maybe see again. There we go. No, it's fine. You can interrupt soup talk. That's fine. You can interrupt it. Do you want to see my soup? It's my soup. My camera doesn't do a great job of making it look appetizing, but it's delicious. There's so much chicken in there. It's very good. I've been meaning to make some soup this last week, and then I just kept not doing it. And some of that's because I bought stuff for sandwiches. So I kept making fancy sandwiches. And you know what? I don't regret it at all. It was very good. I'm officially out of sandwich stuff now, though. I've eaten so many of them. So it's like, you know what? It's a soup day. And then it's been a day. Here, let's just swap on over here and get this going. And I can tell you about my day. I don't have to, it's fine. I don't know what happened. But like my alarm didn't go off when it was supposed to this morning. Which, like, would be fine if I had been sleeping. Cougar has reached old age. God, everyone is still naked. Oh, look at him go. Yeah, it would have been fine. Because, like, sometimes you just need to sleep in. The trouble is, there was no sleeping in occurring. I woke up at my usual time. It was just, today I just decided not to look at my, my phone when I woke up to check the actual time. So that was interesting. We don't look at Kim Rolled. Why would you want to put pants on that? Look at her. The cult is pantsless. We are. Sorry. Oh God. Listen, we like being naked here. We like sinning. Is somebody talking to me? No. Okay. We do need to. Okay, I remember what we were doing. Obviously we have to go to the silk cradle and start doing all that nonsense. But I really wanted to focus on like. Somebody is giggling. I really want to like focus on decorating today, right? I want to make our cult like look just perfect and beautiful. Also, the new music is so good. I like it. We do need to make more gold stuff for that. Okay. No, wait, I'm trying to edit buildings. There's a lot of unused space, I'm noticing. And I know a lot of that is because we were what are the words that I'm trying to say? A lot of the unused space is because I was trying to wait for more things, right? Like, I was trying to get a lot more buildings available to us. But I think it's just about time that we make it better. And if anybody has any recommendations on what they would like to see, let me know. We do have to keep in mind that the layout is not square on both sides. You cannot mirror everything, which I fucking hate. I am personally offended by kind of like what we've got going on here. You want to see corpses? Hey, we have crypts now. Don't you worry. Everyone in our cult gets old very fast, and there will be death. Yeah, they died of old age. They're all very old. Oh boy, are they old? I kinda having the food over here near our farm, not a bad idea. Do I just want to leave it there, though? You know, I hate this. I like having these near the farm, because there's all that stuff that we collect, right? Oh, boy. This doesn't fit here. And that makes me upset. Nothing fits! Okay, I've decided. These stay where they were. This is our little production zone. That's where things go to get produced. We'll put the food there. That can go here, though. Yeah. I mean, some of this is just, we need to make more stuff. Do we like... This is... This is where I put the people last time, was all the way back here. Should I move them? Like, do we want them in front of the church? Do we want them in this corner? Do we like them where they are? I want to keep the outhouses near... You know what, maybe we can put the... No, I don't want it near where we worship. I don't want their poop near the place where we get devotion. Thinking, considering, eating some soup. It's good soup. I'm sorry. It's good soup. Kind of comparable. I guess what else? What can we build? We're gonna need more of these. is the big thing. So we'll do that. And I do want to get these structures going, but we need so much stuff. Now thinking a poop-themed cult? I mean, with the amount of pooping that these creatures do, it's not far off. The Holy Roman poop. I love that. What? Hold on. I can hear everyone giggling. I guess what other buildings can we make? I mean, not much right now, right? Because like I haven't unlocked everything. I kind of hyper fixated on a couple of things. I guess we do need a couple more decorations. Don't have a lot of decorations unlocked, which is touch tragic. You need to build one of these. I pushed the wrong button. That's what happened there. And then I like these wreaths, and I keep hitting the wrong button. Place. Oh no! I'll move that over in a minute. Okay. Why is no one helping me? Hey, ya bums! Horrible creatures. Awful, awful lazy goobers. I don't know what I was trying to say. Not all of them are old, but I guess we need more followers. We have 9, which is not a bad amount. But I am scared that everyone's gonna drop dead very quickly. I think they're gonna stop being naked soon. Maybe that's why they're not doing anything. Like, actually, genuinely. Maybe because they're still doing their naughty nakedness. They're a little busy. Can't believe it. Can someone help me build our mission? Yeah, definitely. They're too busy sinning to help. I get it. Takes a lot of attention to do the sinning. But if nothing else, we need more followers so we can get more level ups. Excuse me. Oh. Y'all can't hear me crunch munching too much, can you? I don't want to be that person. Okay. You know what? We can have someone. Follower unavailable. It's because they're too old. Ogre, you're level 1. I need you to be a higher level, buddy. I need to remember to inspire everyone a little more regularly. Because that's going to boost their levels, which will then boost how much leveling we get. Ogre, you beautiful beast. Thank you for the refined wood. Yeah, I don't know how long we're gonna stream for today. I'm feeling genuinely feeling really great. Like physically feeling pretty alright. But also I have a lot that I have to do tomorrow. I can't stay up too late. I'm trying to build. Why won't they let me build? There it was. It was hiding. Go ahead and do this. Hopefully they all show up. Great. Arbogast is doing a great job over there. I guess that's the other thing. We need more people so that we can make sure everyone has, like, tasks that they're doing and properly completing. Excuse me. We need money, is the other thing. Just gonna listen to Arbroker go repeatedly. Oh! Trinoger! A bit better! Buddy, I'm doing everything I can to make it real nice here, okay? It takes some time. It's hard. But we did complete the quest, so not that there was like any worry. Okay, let's do this. Edit. Move. Yeah. Yeah. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to talk to you and inspire. Also, give me your money. We need that. We need that for things. There are so many tasks to do and we don't have nearly enough followers anymore, and that's a little upsetting. We should probably, before we go back to the Silk Cradle, Elab, I can't afford this deer. We should probably go do the witness that's here, right? Since Calamar is dead. Since we beat Calamar last time! So proud of myself. It only took us a couple of times. Although a renowned recreant amongst his peerage, Calamar is masterful in repression of his underlings through ague. Free to flag the creatures of Anchor Deep strike with renewed vigor. Heed caution as thou travel therewith, excuse me. Yeah, I know they're gonna be stronger now. Excuse me? A cannon? A blunderbuss? Short-ranged ammo-based weapon. Can tear through multiple enemies as well as knock them back. Its range is limited. It will do more damage to closer targets, while targets further away might not feel a thing. Makes sense. Yeah, I am a lamb and I have a gun. Weird. I don't hate that so far. I don't hate that in theory. We'll see. Oh god. It doesn't do that much damage. Even when you're real close. Doesn't help that they can dodge through that. I am not convinced so far. It does recharge really quickly, which is nice. But I don't know. I guess, like, it would be good, like, in combination with your curses, right? So maybe that's what I need to do. I just need to remember to use our curses a little more regularly, which I was already trying to work on last time. And I was doing pretty alright. We'll see. No, I was trying to shoot the... Okay. Receive double health when healing or diseased heart. Give me a diseased heart. I'm sorry, Clonic, I'm trying to kill the jellyfish so that I can get their meat. Oh god. As much as I love the tentacles, they might not be a great pairing with gun. Just because it takes a while to recover from. That would mean that the homing ones wouldn't be great either, which is unfortunate. Or I just need to be better at figuring out when I should and should not be attacking things. That's also a very large possibility. Yeah, like, don't do that. Can I still parry things with bullets? Do I parry... I'm sorry, do I parry arrows with bullets? Is that a thing that I do? Enemies have a chance to drop fish. If gun is short range, is gun is knife? I think gun might be knife. Oh god. Hey, y'all? I think gun might be knife. I shouldn't have done that. Okay. Well, knife is knife, but his gun is knife. Other things could be knife. You know. It's possible. Okay, what do we have? We'll go this way, because there's a follower here, and then there's also wood. Oh. Well, you know what? For 12, I'll give Helob our money. Okay. He loves the crunch crunch of their little bones. Okay. Well, thank you, Helob. Didn't really want to spend money, but it wasn't that much compared to the 50 that he usually charges. I think that was kind of a steal. Do I get both of these? All right. Oh, it's our friend. Oh, that's so much money, though. Sorry, Lamb gets very mad when he's out of bullets. There's a heart there, but it's a red heart, which is not particularly helpful. Okay. Ooh! More decorations! Why has Gun betrayed? No, Gun is, like, fine. I don't hate Gun. I don't think I'll say no to Gun if I get the option for it. I think I still like... Ouch. I think I still like Battle Axe the most, but... Oh, I wonder what its heavy attack is. Hold on. No, that's not the right button. Okay. It's a... long shot. And it did quite a bit of damage? No, it didn't. That was a lie. It did, like, no damage. Okay. Yeah, but it uses up my fervor, does the big bullet. Damage not good. I don't know that it does. I don't know. It's fine. It's an interesting weapon. We'll roll with it. It'll be... Yeah, heavy attacks as a whole have been kind of lackluster. Excuse you. Okay. It's really hard to tell when I'm close enough for the attack to, like, hurt. I'm gonna swap out my pets for this. Despise new things by default. Valid. Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced. Oh, I want to go see our cat friend, but also we haven't done... Wait, no, that's a relic. I regret everything. What are you? Decrease in size. Well, I didn't want to do this. It's fine. I was gonna get wood. It's fine, I suppose. Can you... What is... Wait, I don't know what this does anymore. That's Clownix's nail, right? No, Kudai's fingernail. Summon a new weapon with an increased level. I'm a little guy! Oh! Okay, gun is gone. We got an axe again. Very zippy. Just zoom in. You have to get, like, very close to everything, which is unfortunate. Okay, maybe not as close as I thought I had to. Oh, God. Great. He is so fast. I don't think it's actually any faster than he was before. But it just... It seems faster. Because he's so little. He's zoom. His legs don't know how to be as long as yours. He's doing what he can to keep up. Look at him go. Okay. Let's go this way. Oh, God. Okay, what do we have? We'll go with the single tent. That's fine. Sir. Rude. Rude, mister. This is, I think, the way that we get out, so we'll go this way. And we'll talk to our good friend. Bonds of familial duty turned instead to chains. Most voracious of appetites, curbed and contained. Most infectious of ideas, cut off and cauterized before given chance to rot and spread. Cruel, verily. Alas, what other recourse was given? How does one kill death? One cannot. Thanks, Arrow. I love you. You're perfect. Never change. Okay, let's get out of here. I love Tiny Lamb. Tiny Lamb, very good. He's just a little guy. He's even more of a little guy than he was. And he was such a little guy to begin with. Yeah, I figured it would last, like, maybe a room. I figured it was on a timer. I didn't think it was gonna be, like, a permanent thing for this run. Oh, God. Book. Okay, there we go. I forever smalled. I don't know how to cope with it. He's so little. Fuck. Okay. Idiot blew himself up. Oh, I loved that. Okay, again, it's just generally trying to, like, not find the exit. It's a little early for that. There were so many places to explore. Oh god. Fortunately, we have chosen correctly. Give me that heart. Okay, onwards. Fuck. I am losing the lamb a little more consistently because he's so small. Zealous blunderbuss. It's faster, and it said it does more damage, so I don't think that's true. I think it lied to me. I should have considered all of the possible repercussions that come with getting forever smalled. But I did it. And now I'm paying. We might come back for that. Oh, never mind. No, we won't. You know what? Gun is probably good. If this is anything like Calamar, having something that's a little more ranged would be lovely. Okay. Ah, jeez. Yeah, I don't hate this. I know I keep saying that. And then I keep reconsidering it. And then I'm like, nah. Nah, I kinda dig this. Stop. There we go. Which... yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. Okay, it's fine. Do need something that hit a little harder than what I had. So getting a weapon that was a higher level, not a bad move. I don't know why, but I thought it was gonna, like, drop the weapon as opposed to just automatically replacing it, even though that's what happened when I did it the last time. So, I don't know what I was thinking. Fuck. Almost there. That went the wrong way. And then I lost my boy. Oh god. There we go. Yeah, the damage on the gun is not great, but the AoE does a lot. Like it carries it. It makes up for what the damage lacks. We want wood. Oh, we've gotten so many coins. And being able to kind of like just poke things from a distance is very nice. It's not too much of a distance, but it is distance enough. And we appreciate that. Verdict on gun? It's fine. I won't, you know, if I'm given it as an option, I'll likely take it. We're here for it. Okay. Emerald is starving. What the fuck happened? No. Remove. What? occurred? Why is everyone so upset? Kayshurrr is actually starving, and I don't know what happened to make everyone else angry. Is it just that everyone is hungry? Well, here you go, buds. I guess that was it? I guess that was it. I guess they were just upset about being hungry. Which, like, fair. But also, I'm sorry? Oh, no. Okay. Is everyone good now? We good? Let's get our sermon going. I didn't think I was gone for that long. Everything was perfectly fine when we left. I don't know what happened. My goodness. It's fine. We are fixing it now. Alright. Great. Let's get some new doctrine going. I mean, what do we have for sin options? Choose a follower to take on the sin of others, which generates sin. Gluttony of cannibals. Followers feast upon a chosen follower. Well, I mean, you have to go bride then? That could be interesting. Glutton of cannibals. Or gluttony of cannibals at some point. We'll do this. We'll choose a follower to take on the guilt of everyone else. Hey, level up. They were saying they were hungry. It's true. But our numbers are so small as it is. Kind of want to see what that does, you know? Who's gonna take on our sin? I'm afraid if I do the Twitch chat option, it is gonna pick Emmy again. You know what? Arburger, you're our next highest level. Let's go, buddy. Oh! Oh, okay. I thought they were gonna kill him, and then I thought they were all dying, and now I'm not sure what's happening. Oh my goodness. Okay, I should be a little more conscientious about what we decide to do. How is our faith? A little rough. Everything's fine. I think Arburger might be a little sad as a whole, but we can fix that. I can fix that. Alright, and now everything's fine again. Alright, everybody, get out of here. And we're gonna go check on our friend Arburger, whose name I definitely just grumble nowadays. Hey, bud. You good? He seems fine. Okay. Okay. What do we have here? Leader tent. Okay. Oh, upstairs people are being dicks again? Are we surprised? Propaganda speaker. Ensure your followers hear your message within range. Followers will work and pray 20% faster. I would like both of these. We're gonna start going this route. Just so we can get some of the things for sin. Because we do be wanting some sin. I do need the confession booth as well, unfortunately. But I would like to make this. Cause can I just like put this anywhere? No. God, the range on this like sucks. Like a lot. Oh, there's a rainbow poop over there. Let's do that. We'll wiggle some things around so that's a little more effective. But we'll start here. So much stuff. Okay. I'll wait until nighttime before moving everything around. Let's go clean up that poop. Let's clean it out the outhouse. Save that. And then I'll just do some watering. Okay. What do you need, Hoger? Be so funny if we pulled some hilarious pranks on Mayor Emmy. They're real picky eaters, so let's make them eat poop! What was that noise? What's happening? I mean, I have to, right? Well, now that Emmy's starting fights. Oh my goodness. Listen, Emmy did make you eat poop once. I'll probably let the quest fail. I don't like making anyone eat poop, ever. Fruity, no! We can't. Horrible. Can I water? No, what? Just water. I don't want to do this. Somebody else do this. Ah. Okay. That's full. That's full. That's full. Give me that. Right. I was gonna move some things. Okay. Edit. No. I don't like this. Cannot say I'm a fan of the shape here. That's miserable. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to, like, fit these in here nicely so that I don't hate it. And I don't think that there is a way to do that. So that's fun. Oh, fuck off. And then we'll do... Is it one more rock? Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I kept hitting the wrong buttons. We should... What should we do? I don't know. I don't know what we should do. I just want to keep making this place nice, but to do that, we need more followers. Anybody have any funny ogre names? Do we have a poger? I don't think we do. We have a pooger with a U. I mean, we'll keep him as a hedgehog. It's kind of cute. Oh, look at him! Except... his head lumps were doing some things there. Go refine some materials. Astaroth! Boger. I like him as is. Except... you can worship. Really, that's what we need right now. It is a new day, so we can do a new sermon. I also like his droopy wigglers. They're very good. I think my soup is getting cold. I think my soup's, like, officially cold. That's a little tragic. It's pretty cold. I can't really do any of these, can I? Merciless weapons. Critical attacks when we hit. Eh. Guess let's start unlocking some of these. Yeah. Also, I need to use the restroom, so we might sit here for a second, while I go potty. I'll be right back. go. Thank you for waiting. I appreciate it. Excuse me. Let's just very quickly do an inspiration for everyone. While we got them all in a single spot. I don't want to interrupt Emmy, but also... Okay. Can I do an inspire? Everyone's close enough and I love that. That makes me very happy. And inspire. Does suck that everyone's like stuck at level 2. I would like for them to not be stuck at level 2. This is just for gold now, we've decided. And that's just for stone. How are all of the huts doing? Great. These are empty now. I guess... Again, our best option at this point is to just go do some raids, right? So that we can get a couple more guys. And in general, just get more supplies. Okay, we'll let them do their thing. What quests do we still have? I guess we can bring the third eye to Plimbo. That's a good option. Plimbo! Where are you, Plimbo? Plimbo! Gombondi. Plimbo is a wild soul. I know Plimbo. I'll go get you that last eye, Plimbo. Okay. I don't have money for these. Here's the thing about our current situation, right? We do not have very much money. Yeah, anything for Plimbo. We love Plimbo here. Plimbo is so good. I don't know if it's understood how good Plimbo really is. Oh boy, Plimbo is great. Got a blunderbuss. It does seem that we're only being given blunderbusses now. Also, we're entering the lands of the Bishop Shimura. Those who do not follow the ways of the old faith will be destroyed. I really like the music in the Silk Cradle. Okay. I mean, we're just going through, right? Hi, Shimura. He waits by the rocks of the darkened sea at the foot of the long sudden drop. Then the maw of pointed teeth beasts. The stutter of the heart then stopped. He was the fifth bishop of the old faith, our brother, the one who waits. Back then he was known by the name Narinder? But as millennia wore on, he grew discontent with his role. He began to question. He was gluttonous in his ambition. And in my imprudence, I loved him. For it, I lost my mind. For it, he lost his freedom. Can you fathom such betrayal, lamb? Of your own turned against you? Would you like to find out? He was the fifth bishop, the old faith. Our brother, the one who waits. Back then, he was known by the name Narinder. Poker, no! No! I don't want to do this! I don't have any options. I hated that. Okay, maybe I don't love Shimura anymore. And Pooger has died? That's a good thing we got 2 new followers, huh? I'm very upset right now. What is this? They can rest, but also don't make me sad. I would like it if they didn't make me sad. Spider silk? Oh, new thing to collect. Okay. It's tragic. I don't like it. I mean, we just kind of have to move on. As much as I hate it. Fuck. Okay. I need those guys to not jump as much as they do. I didn't like that. Let's go get ourselves a tarot card. See 5 for everyone hit? Ugh. We'll just gain an extra heart. I said that, like, gaining an extra heart is, like, a bad thing. It is a perfectly fine thing, and we like it. I was just disappointed that the other option was so, like, meh. Alright. That doesn't give me anything. Understood. Sir. Ouch. Sub-ideal. Alright. Let's get through here. If we can get to the boss, that'll at least give us a new follower. What is this? And we'll get a new follower from that one too. We are collecting all the cobwebs. Aerith? Darling, you look so drab. That's how you dress. How ugly are your followers? Luckily, I sell patterns for the finest fashions. It's a family business, except for stupid Bob. Don't mind me. Just thinking about how my no good brother left us all behind. Anywho, you'll need somewhere to craft these darling designs. Perhaps you should look into this. I mean, working on it. Okay, cool. Oh god, you want all of my refined gold. Wait! Bob! The little guy from, who hangs out on a friend. Yeah! Yeah! already got there before I did. It took me a minute. I was like, as I was looking at the, I love this character design. First off, let's start there. Bareth, very good character design, precious. But then I saw the little worm on Bareth's back, and I was like, wait a minute, I know Bop. Yeah. Bop is the little worm on that bird's head. That's all you have for the moment. Okay. They do have a little bit more going on than Bop, but that's very precious. I like the thimble hat. The thimble hat is very good. Also, silk thread. Don't mind if I do. Wow, there are a lot of hearts that just dropped here. We have a worm follower. We can have a worm follower. This is not a drill. We can have a worm. Y'all. Why can't I go there? Why? Oh, why do I have to bypass? I'm very confused. But also, we have a worm. Fuck! It's fine. Okay, let's get all this back because I am out of stuff. I have no fervor, and I must scream. I think that's the other issue that I'm having with gun, is that we don't get fervor when we hit an enemy. We only get it when they die, which is a little troublesome. It gives us a decent amount when they die, but it does complicate the whole combination gun and curse situation. Well, that's too many spiders. Fuck. Ugh. I'm starting to have an issue with the lack of fervor we are generating. Especially since I am definitely falling back on our curses a little bit more than I normally do. There we go. We're getting it back. Slowly but surely. Overall weapon damage increased. It's not a whole bunch. Alright, let's get that demon in here. It's a bomb buddy. Wait. No, he's back. Okay. Sorry, I thought he just, like, went away for forever after running into nothing. That would suck. There we go. Yeah, let's go ahead and swap that out. And let's do a murder on a boss. Folklore. This is a problem for me. This is a big old problem for me. Fuck. He is very quick. Please. I need gun to reload faster. Gun is not great here, is what we're finding out. Okay. Okay, we're doing fine. We're gonna get through this. No issue. Probably don't roll into the... Oh god. Don't roll into the attacks. Just generally speaking. There we go. You know, now that we know that bosses are just gonna be very fast, very horrible, bullet hell adjacent nonsense now, we're better prepared. Are we happy about it? Not particularly, but it is what it is. Give me wood. I think we're gonna be set on wood for a while, actually. Looking at it now. Okay. Just 2 more bosses, and then we'll be at Shimura. I don't know what happens after that. I mean, this is all new now at this point, and that's very exciting for me. Particularly. Jesus fuck. Sorry, the upstairs neighbors are being ridiculous. But, you know, what do you expect? Why is everyone so mad every time I come back? What is happening? Sorry, it's very distracting at the moment. Okay, everybody do an eat. Hello? My faith is shaken. I can see through your lies. You're a fraud, and I must tell the others. Ochre ogre! He just went absolutely buck wild. I'm gonna let him eat. Kayshurrr, you have to move. And you get to get imprisoned. And everyone got sick. Oh no. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, how do we fix this? How do we fix this? How do we fix this? Sermon? And then maybe some sort of delightful ritual to make everyone happy? Please? Well, that helped a little bit. We could probably start holding some funerals, right? Law and order. What do we want here? Belief in original sin trait. All are born guilty. Reduced faith loss when putting a follower in jail. Freedom above all else. Every day that begins without anyone in prison, you gain plus 10 faith. I mean, I know we have somebody in jail right now, but, you know, keeping faith up when we don't have anyone in jail would be lovely. Oh, my hands just got hands just got cold. I do have the windows open at the moment just because my apartment was getting stuffy and I needed to, like, air it out. And that means it's gonna start getting a little chilly. Just because it's funny. Jail someone who's not dissenting because it's funny. No, I don't know why anyone would do that. Oh my god. It seems just generally counterproductive. We're gonna start doing funerals in the order that they have occurred. So, you know. There we go. Aww. That's cute. I like the flowers on the crypt. Can we do... No, it's on cooldown. Okay. That's fine. We can fix this. Is everyone going to bed? Is it bedtime? Is time for sleep? Oh my god, please stop. Stop pulling up my poop menu. I don't want to look at the poop menu anymore. Please. I'm not okay, I was gonna say the point was not to collect the devotion there, but let's do the re-education while it's still technically the same day. And then we should be able to release Ogre tomorrow. Which will be very lovely. Oh! I forgot that Booger died. Worm? I didn't think we had Worm. I mean, I knew we had Worm, but I didn't think Worm was ready. Fairy body? I just want to receive that devotion. Thank you. Yeah, everyone died. I forgot that somebody died here. Was the main thing. But everyone's dead. They're all dead. Everybody's dead. Great. Convert me to your cult. I will follow your teachings faithfully. Mertroger. Choose robes. We got another died of old age and shot with a gun. I'm sorry. We're gonna stick with Pink Worm right now because it's very cute. But I love these. Oh, why is he so lumpy? Why is that one lumpy? Get in here. Mertogre? Is that what? Mertogre? Go worship, buddy. Hey! Folkloger. Oh. Folkloger. I can't think of anything else. I don't want to change his form. I just want the new thing to go away. He's fine, Blue. Except... Get in here, buddy. You can do some stone stuff. Okay. Oh god. Somebody did the biggest poop. Nobody took care of this tree. He does have little cheek teeth that aren't in his mouth. That is a thing that he has. And I kind of love them. Like, actually? Gotta start making more of these again. Gotta start making more of those. I do need to replace the other stone mine that we have now lost. Chernobyl, can you give me a second, buddy? Hi, what can I do for you? Really are chosen them. Can't you make the crops grow with magic or something? Perform the harvest ritual? Sure. Oh my god, why does it take that? Okay, we have to do a harvest ritual, and we might as well do it right now. The harvest ritual is fine. It's nice to be able to, like, get your crops to, you know, grow immediately, but also, like, we're doing so okay on crops as a whole that I'm not too worried about it, you know? But that did increase our faith, so... Wait, no, everyone come back! I'm sorry, I don't know what that voice was. I just wanted them to come back. Oh no. I just wanted them to come here. And now our faith is restored. Perfect. Alright, get out of here, nerds. Let's re-educate Ochre Ogre. Hey! Nope, put that down. Put that down. That goes there. And then we release. There you go. Why is it dirty? Why is it still dirty? Who pooped? Oh my god. Sorry, they made a mess of that outhouse and I had just cleared it. Our burger. I don't know what I did for you, buddy, but wait, no, I did the harvest, didn't I? No. I don't know what I did for him. Oh well. Where's our other pal? There he is. It is amazing. Let's collect all of that. Let's get all of these in here. And we gotta fill up on poop again. I guess I can help a little bit. Ochre Ogre, where are you going? You're not done here. Oh my god. Can't believe everyone's abandoned their posts. And by everyone, I mean specifically Ochre Ogre. Unbelievable. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do for right now. What can we do? Can we start building nice places? Not really. We can build one. We can build one nice place. Does that not replace? Okay. Weird. We'll just go ahead and start doing this and let everyone join us as they see fit. I thought this was a replacement for the houses that we already have, but apparently not. I wanted to make at least one of those, so I'm not too upset about this. It's just not what I was anticipating, you know? those going. We need so much stone. Go ahead and feed everyone. And go out for another run, and hopefully we will have more. Shinogre is ill. Twogre Wagogre is ill. What happened? But everything is clean. I don't understand. I just left. Did the food make him sick? Horrible. Still... You fine now? What's dirty? It says that it's a little dirty, and I don't... Oh my god. Food can make you sick. Can confer. I just didn't think... I didn't think it was gonna, like, make him that ill, you know? Somebody is still hungry. Oh, I guess it was the cauliflower. It does have a 5% chance of causing illness. It's just very unfortunate that it happened to two guys. Foger and Tuger are friends now, it's true. Best buds in the making. Okay, let's get through here. Let's do another round. Real dang quick. Axe. You'll love to see it. I wasn't planning on needing to go through the dungeons as much. I am not what I once was, though no longer wise. I am no fool. I know the end draws near. I take comfort in confession. The blame hangs heavy around my neck. I introduced him to ideas of change. For my domain is knowledge, and it is ever evolving. An organic state of being for myself, but for him, most unnatural. Death cannot flow backward. It was I who had him chained, forced into subjugation by the four of us. Subjugated as you too soon shall be. Make peace. Bow to me, lamb. Nah. A lion in the guise of a lamb. I expected no less from a vessel of the Red Crown. Very well. War is also my domain. Well, just don't make me fight my own buddies again, okay? Oh god. That was incredibly unexpected. But hey, handled easily enough. Okay, just, if everyone could not attack me, that'd be cool. There we go. I'm not finding these enemies to be too terribly difficult at the moment, which does scare me in the long run. It's like, what am I supposed to do with that? What horrible thing are they gonna throw my way to make this even more complicated and horrible in the future? I forgot to replace Come one, come all to a palace of wonder and delight. For all that glimmers is gold, guaranteed. Midas's cave open 7 days. Ooh, I thought we had unlocked everything. That's exciting. New place just dropped. buddy. Okay. Guys, handled. We're small again. At this point, whenever I get that now, I will just instantly activate it because we're tiny. Mayor Emmy has grown old. This is horrible. I did do it again! Look at him, he's a little guy! I can't say no to the little guy. He's just so tiny. It's fine though, because I have an axe this time. Enemies will drop 2 times the amount of fervor. I should probably start using that a bit more again, huh? Ooh, room. Let's go this way. Oh god, that takes too long. Why does that take so long? Just let me do a hit on it, please and thank you. He is forever small. That's a raccoon. Shimura, for your wisdom we make this offering! Nowhere of all, in you we seek the answer. I need to remember to use this. Okay. I don't like that I can just hear the follower grumbling over there. There we go. Easy peasy. Perfect. Okay. Oh, raccoon! We rescue. Get out of here, buddy. You'll be safe at my cult. Let's see what kind of new relic we can get. Don't have enough. Summon a new curse with increased level. Give me a new curse. You know what? That's an okay one. I'm cool with that one. I just don't like the Iker or the explosive one. Can't say I'm a fan. Also, I do hope that when we get back to the compound, we'll have enough to level up again. You motherfucker. Okay. What is this? Nothing I can break. Oh, I guess that's where the little projectiles were coming from. There we go. I mean, I might as well continue to use this. We got a skull necklace. Follower will live a naturally long life. Double what would usually be expected. Well, now I get it. I was hoping I would get that earlier. Okay, there's that handled. Guess we could give it to Kayshurrr. Just annoyed that I didn't get it earlier. You keep running into the thing that's hurting you, buddy. Breathe in too. Breathe in too deep. We got hands. We have so many hearts. I am ready for this next fight. Also, yeah, give me a more, give me another one. Give me a noob curse. I mean, yeah, let's go. Even bigger hands. But I went in there when I did. Okay. Also, just trying to check to see how long we've been streaming for. Not very long, but it is starting to get a touch late. Just need to keep an eye on that. Oh god. Oh. That range though. My goodness. I need him to stop putting as much poison down as he is, because it's making it a little hard to navigate and dodge. Okay. Oh god. There we go. It's a good one. Sorry, level 13 sword curse. Real good. Our new boy do be having lumps. Beetroot. Beetroot. Great. Get me out of here. Maybe the name is lump and ogre related. For our new buddy. Maybe that's what we do. Oh, hello. Who are you? Sorry. So thou art the creature causing the ether of this world to ripple and warp. It's been an age since I have made the acquaintance of a new sort of idol. Continue in this fashion and we shall meet again hence. If not, be thankful for our meeting now. A symbol to you too! What was that noise? What was that noise? No! Both of you stop! I thought you were friends! Oh my god, I can't see my boy. Excuse me, leader, some creatures are here seeking shelter with our cult, but they are sick! Should we let them join? Yes. This is horrible. I can't believe Emmy is old. Alright, let's do... all of this, and then let's do some inspiring. And also give me some money. How about that? More stone, please. And more this. And give me all of this. Perfect. Let's make that tailoring station. Okay. What do we need to make that? Oh, we've got everything. Perfect. Give me the poop. What else is dirty? This is dirty. And our broom is leveled again, I guess. And again. I'm still not entirely sure what that means or what that does for us. But, you know, I'll accept it. It makes a funny noise, and it changes appearance, so that's cool. Alright, let's do some more of this, and then we will need to feed everyone. And we want to go to Midas's cave. Yeah. Lots to do. And not enough time to do it. Ah, jeez. I'm curious about this Midas cave, though. We'll probably go check that out after we do the tailors. I'm pretty stoked about this as well. Oh. Moody ensemble, perfect for lurking. Ragged robes, either design choice or poorly made. Breathable tunic for working up a sweat. I mean, this is the option, right? Because, like, that's a Shrek shirt. The trouble is, it costs so many gold pieces. Fuck. Gold's not easy to get either. Like, we've been doing fine on it. But it's not... I can only make 2. Horrible. Okay, let's get some new dudes in here. Julger. I mean, we like this form, but again, I just want to get rid of that. Oh, just very cute, huh? Sorry, we have to have the little hair swirl. Refined materials, buddy. He's got the lumps. Nogurger? I mean, we've had a Nogger before. I like Nogurger. I'm curious about his other colors. I like the purple. These are all very good. Get on in there, buddy. You get to be our new farmer. Because Emmy is old. Oh god, we have so many. Okay, Julger. I'm fine with just accepting him as he is. I feel like outfits are definitely more for, like, when you're, you know... no, I should heal you at the... Okay, we can do that later. When you're, like, super late game and just have already made everything that you want to make. Hager. And don't necessarily need to, like, worry about divvying up your stuff. I'm still gonna make some. Because I want to. Yeah, everyone's gonna get a Shrek get up at one point. Also, we're so low on camellias. And I'm a little upset about that. Also, look at how happy Arburger is. Arbogor. Arbogor? Our boy. Does just sound like I have a mouthful of something when I try and say his name. Alright. Level up! Before it gets too late in the day, let's do a sermon. Check to see if we can do a new funeral. Oh god, we have so many now. That's pretty alright. And some extra devotion on top of it. You love to see it. Has the funeral cooled down? It has. So let's go ahead and do a new funeral. These are... I have to start from the bottom. Because Grieger was the first one that died. Okay. I did it backwards. My bad when we did the first one, but that's okay. We understand now. Go rest, Grieger. We loved you. I mean, it already had the thing on it. I wonder if that increases the cap for the amount of devotion that can be claimed there. Doesn't it does? Okay, because it was at like 10, I think, previously. We finished chopping this down. Oh, hold on. These are really cute too. I didn't realize there were so many. I like those. We need more camellias. We might have to... Oh no. Oh no. You can change the colors. I mean, we don't need to. It's already the perfect color, but, like, let's go ahead and assign that. That goes to Emmy. Excuse me. Yeah, there's so many clothes. My god. I did fuck up the one, which is unfortunate, and I only got half of my supplies back. Which is a bit annoying. But what can you do? Okay. I need to make food for everyone again. Fuck! I wasn't looking, I was busy looking at other things. Don't eat that! Don't eat that! No one eat that! Okay, I did see some camellias in there. We just desperately need more as a whole. Those food always takes precedence. And then... Oops. I should probably use that on the camellia seeds, actually. Okay, well, I know now. What does that do? I don't remember. I don't remember what any of the poops do. Let's water that and fertilize it. So we do get more seeds when we fertilize things. And you do love that. Shrek Emmy do be loving that very silly outfit. Where did she go? There she is. Emmy, get out from behind the grass. I need to take a screenshot of you. Thank you. There we go. Screenshot taken. We will be sending that to them later today. Why is everyone worshiping? Have I told everyone to worship? I didn't think I had told everyone to worship. Also, we're gonna do another one of these. And we're gonna do one of these. Oh my god, I need 2 of those. And another rock one. There's our rock one. And then... Oh no, I'm out of money. This is how we'll do this. This is how we'll get funds. Just do one of most things. Yeah, okay, what do you need, Fogger? Let us preach your word far and wide. Tugger Wagooger has said they are willing to go on a mission. Let them go. Alright. We'll do it. Okay, that should be everything there. Let's send Tugger Wagooger out. I just don't want him to die. So we'll send him to get... Well, the chances on all these are pretty dang good. Let's go get him. Let's send him off to get some coins. Goodbye, buddy. Be safe. Take care. Who asked me to do that? There you are. Fogger. You honor me, great leader. I am eternally grateful. Great. Okay. Things are doing pretty okay here. Let's go ahead and make some more food, because everyone remains hungry for forever. Always and forever. Never not hungry. Oh boy, they just want to do and eat. Always. We're gonna check out Midas's cave, probably do a little bit more cleanup, and then probably call it there for tonight, because it's almost 8 o'clock. Welcome, welcome! Look, everyone, we have a visitor! Oh, stop laughing. Our guest may not look like much, but fortune favors the bold. My dear new friend, Midas's cave serves a certain class of clientele. If you meet those standards, welcome. If not, please look around. You are my guest here. I will leave you to peruse. Should you have any questions, Midas is here to help. Sorry, I'm a little snotty. These guys? Oh god, these guys? Now, I'm sure great leaders such as yourself get plenty of devotion from your followers for free, but surely a visionary like you could always use more. We can offer you our devotion for a great price. Price goes up the more you want it, and down the longer you leave it. Question really is, how long can you resist? Just buy a couple of them. They do be looking like Pikachus, huh? You're just extorting me. Sacrifice a follower! Iker earned. Drop Black Iker on hit. When killed, resurrect with a heart. Dead enemy bodies explode, damaging other nearby enemies. That sounds awesome. Hate the fact that they want me to use all of my refined gold, though. Do they not understand? What is this? This is where we trust our precious gold to the gods. Sometimes in their benevolence they give back more. Other times it is lost. But it is not for us mere mortals to question. Present company excluded, of course. But for the use of such a service, the organization will require a... let's call it a donation. For someone of your talent, shall we say 10 gold? I only have the 1 refined gold now, bud. Also, do we see a snail statue around here? What is this? Who's this? A little lamb all alone. Careful, you never know what lurks in the night. And yet I smell no fear on you. How curious. I see you wear the red crown. I knew your predecessor. He was a weak and cowering thing. Not like you, I should think. Little lamb, you've made a deal before. How about another? Fear not, I won't ask for anything as valuable as your eternal servitude. I'm hungry, starving, ravenous. I want a fish, a big fish, and I will give you something in return. You accept? Yes. Do you want a tuna? Clever creature. Take this and look away, won't you? I'm afraid I'm a bit of a messy eater. You'll not see me here again, but our paths will cross elsewhere. In moments of chance, in the cover of night. Oh, thanks. Alright. So many new things. Yeah, I'm not seeing... oh, there it is. Snail statue. Snail follower. Snail follower. I'm so glad we have more bugs. Like, genuinely, I'm so glad there are new bug followers. I love that. Oh boy. Okay, what am I doing? Let's go back to Swamp. And I don't know, get everything set up for next time. I don't... okay, I do have quite a bit of gold now. Like, just regular gold, which is nice. That was lumber. Right. I couldn't afford it originally, but I can now? No. I can't, I'm 5 short. Why is Arburger sleeping out here? Hey! I'm concerned about our boy. We have plenty of beds. Okay. Again, I just kind of want to get everything, like, put away, set up and ready to go. Well, no, there were definitely... so these ones are down, right? So that means that somebody has chosen those. I didn't necessarily mean to repair these, but that's okay. Yeah, that's why I was also confused. And he's got a bed. He's been around for a while, so he should have a bed. I don't know what happened. Maybe he just felt like sleeping outside. Who knows? Excuse me. It is a new day. Let's go ahead and do our sermon. And I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know that there's anything else that we'd like absolutely have to do for preparation for next time. Ooh, level. 3 new curses will appear on your crusades. Let's go. New curse, new curse. What else is there? Do we need to do any rituals? Not really. Alright. Everyone is free to go. Yeah, I think that's gonna be everything for today. At least I can't think of anything else that we like need to do immediately. I still want to like finish decorating and making it really pretty over here. But there's not much we can do about that now. We'll probably need to do. If I go to this menu, it still pauses. Okay. We still need to do. We need to go back to Darkwood so we can get more camellia seeds. And also see if we can try and find more gold. I think Darkwood would be the best place to do that. Yeah, I don't know. There's we need like gold pieces specifically. These gold nuggets. We need those for outfits. But we also just need money in general. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today. Let me go over here. Let me quit that game. Yeah. Plan on doing more of this on Wednesday, but as always, we'll see how we're feeling, how it's going. I'm trying to find a yeah, get some Spotify music in the background while we just chat. Yeah, I don't know. Why did I just do that to my hair? Why was that a thing that I did? I don't really have anything else. That's it. That's all for today. I think we are gonna skip rating just because it's getting late and I won't have time to even like stop in and say hello. I gotta put dinner away and take a shower and go to bed at a decent hour and triple check to make sure my alarm is on because it did not go off this morning and I don't know why. But yeah, we will see y'all later. See y'all next time. Take care. Have a good rest of your time zone. And that's it. That's all I've got. Bye, friends.